Hey everybody, and welcome to Polly's Crochet Creations. I'm Tori, your hostess. I just wanted to pop on. I was tagged in a video by Lisa the Crafty Goddess. She has done a video from being tagged by Fiber Spider, and this is it's a two combination video. Somebody wants to know what your likes are and dislikes. Well, actually, I think it's more like what your likes are and what you listen to for music. And then the second part is questions on crochet. Now, sorry for yawning. Every time I do a video, I yawn in my videos. So we're going to start with the first part of the video. And the first part of the video is music. Okay. 90% of the time, I listen to what my husband listens to. I don't have anything specific that I like or dislike. I do have several songs that I used to sing or I used to listen to as I was growing up. Now, I listen to I can't remember the name of the song though. Wherever you go, wherever you may wander in your life, that's how I know I always want to be there. Holding your hand, standing by to catch you when you fall, seeing you through in everything you do. Let me be there. Let me be there in your morning. Let me be there in your night. So that's one of my favorite songs. I listened to that growing up. I did listen to a lot of church music when I was growing up. Nowadays, I listen to what my husband listens to. If he's playing music, I listen to that. I don't usually listen to music on my own. And I do have to say that I do listen to Freddie Mercury. I do love his music. His voice is so calming and relaxing. And I come home and I have a stressful day at work and it's like, put on some Freddie, there you go. You know, he calms me down. So yeah, like I said, Freddie Mercury. I do love the Bay City Rollers. Is one of my top bands when I was a kid growing up. Saturday Night is one of the songs that I loved listening to. And then, like I said, there's church music that I listened to when I was growing up as well. One of my favorite songs is Taking Care of Business by Bachman Turner Overdrive. Now, I love Bachman Turner Overdrive. All of their music, actually. So, that's the music part. And I know it's only been like 3 minutes, 40-some seconds. Because, like I said, I'm really not a music buff, so to speak. Now, the second part of the video was 10 questions on crochet. Okay, so question number 1. How did you learn how to crochet? How did I learn how to crochet? Well, when I was given a set of crochet hooks when I was a kid, by my stepmother. She never really showed me how to use them. So those ones went in the drawer, just gone, out of sight, out of mind. Now, not too long ago, when I just realized I have to stitch something in, stitch an end in, 2 ends in. Not too long ago, 2018. 2016 I quit smoking. And I used to play on my tablet when I was at work all the time, and I'm like, well, you know what? I really want something different to do. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to I talked to my friend, actually. That's where I'm leading with this. I talked to my friend, and I told her, I said, you know, I quit smoking. I'm getting sick and tired of playing on the tablet. And is there anything that she can recommend that I do to avoid the boredom or whatever? So my friend comes over with her man and a box of yarn and hands me a handful of hooks. She says, here, figure it out. I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting there and using blanket yarn and a big hook, and I'm like stitching and stitching and stitching, and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm crocheting, awesome. So sorry, I gotta get my scissors. So I'm like, cool, awesome, I'm crocheting. Even though I was just slip stitching, I'm crocheting, right? And so that's fine and dandy. I continue doing that, and then I start making coasters. And I make not coasters, but what do you call those things? Cup warmers for coffee. So I started making those, and I made a whole bunch of different ones, and they were out of blanket yarn too. Like when I first started crocheting, everything was blanket yarn. So anyway, my friend, we're talking one night, and she's like, oh, you might want to check out YouTube. And I'm like, oh, okay, what do you want me to check out on YouTube? She says, there's corner to corner tutorial. She says, you might want to check that out and try that. So I'm like, okay. So I go on, I check corner to corner, and yep, and it was a very easy stitch, right? So yeah, not a problem. I do that, and then yeah, sorry, I'm trying to concentrate here. I'll show you what I'm doing in a minute. So I do the corner to corner, which is easy peasy, lemon squeezy, like they always say. And one of my friends at work, her daughter wanted a mermaid tail blanket. You know that blanket that has the tail? Yeah, you know that blanket that has the tail, right? And anyway, so I told my friend, I said I can ask my other friend that crochets if she has time to do it. She said that she didn't have time to do it because she's doing a bunch of stuff for her grandkids. Okay, well, send me the pattern and I'll see what I can do. So she sent me the pattern, and I managed to make the mermaid tail blanket. Okay, and I did a really good job. With an incomplete pattern. So yeah, like I said, I did a pattern, a mermaid tail blanket with an incomplete pattern. And I did watch Mikey from the Crochet Crowd, and in his video, he's telling us how to put the tail on. Okay, so I follow him exactly. He says, okay, he says, you need 10 stitches from one side to the other side. Okay, so I do 10 stitches evenly across the tail. And he says, okay, now that you have 10 stitches from one side to the center and 10 stitches from the center to the other side, I could have attached the tail to the bag with 20 stitches. Anyway, I managed to do it with 10 stitches. So Mikey from the Crochet Crowd is really good to watch. So that's how I became a crocheter. My friend handed me a whole pile of hooks and said, here, figure it out. So this is what I'm working on. I wanted to get the unicorn blanket done for my unicorn. Isn't he cute? I think he's cute. And he has a little cover for his butt. It's something I designed. I was thinking about putting a hood, but I'm going to hold off on that. I have other unicorns that I want to do, so I'm going to do the hooded covers for them in a little while. So that was question number 1. And I'm 10 minutes in. Okay, so how did I learn to crochet? Number 2, what is your favorite thing to crochet? I would have to say my favorite thing to crochet is hats. Now, this is a funny story, okay? When I first started crocheting, I started doing hats out of blanket yarn. I thought, okay, it was like awkward and, you know, it looked good, but there was a lot of mistakes. And even to this day, there's still mistakes. So, I like crocheting hats. I'm still perfecting the hat. And I do several different types of hats. Okay, I have one set of increase rounds that I do for my hats that I really, really like and really enjoy. And it's been a long time since I've done just your basic beanie. But this, I'm going to take this off and I'm going to show you. This is my increase rounds for my beanie. I do that all the time for my beanies now. And this is the Blueberry Fields beanie. Love the color of yarn. But I'm still trying to perfect this. Now what this is this is a line that goes down the beanie. I'm still trying to perfect how to hide that line. Okay. And yes, I'm going to put my beanie back on because I don't like the way my hair is. Now, I will get it perfected. And I will be able to do the invisible line. I just have to work on figuring it out. Okay. So, that is my favorite thing to crochet. The third question, it says, if you could use only one yarn, which this question does not make any sense. So if you could only use one yarn, what would it be? Now, I take that as, is it one brandy yarn? Is it one weight of yarn? Is it one, is it like acrylic? Is it wool? Is it cashmere? There's so many possibilities for just one yarn. Okay. So I'm going to give you my information what I like to do. Now, what I like to do is I like to use either a 3-weight or a 4-weight yarn. Whether I'm doing blankets, sometimes I use the bulky blanket yarn, but I usually either use a 3-weight or a 4-weight. It doesn't matter what brand. I could use Red Heart. I could use Barnett Premium. Okay. Yes, you're going to see a freaking fly flying around in the background here. It's really annoying. Yeah, because he's literally flying around the phone. Anyway, so if you could use one yarn, what would it be? And I would have to say black light. I do love the black light yarn. If you're not familiar with it, this is a hat that I have made, and I was asked to do a tutorial, which tutorial will be coming. But this is a hat that I made with the black light yarn. It's my crazy nutty hat, and I do love it. It's one of my favorite hats. So black light. is the one that I really like. I can't get enough of this. If I had a whole shelf full of blacklight, I would be happy. So, number 4. What is the weirdest thing that I've crocheted? Well, I haven't really crocheted any weird things. I tried to make fidget toys, but those are not weird. So I haven't really crocheted any weird things. Number 5. What's something you'll never crochet? Something I'll never crochet. I probably will never do amigurumi. I did try to do amigurumi, and if I did amigurumi, I would create my own pattern for amigurumi. But I don't like crocheting in the round, so I probably would never do amigurumi or the willy one, the pattern, and you know what I'm talking about. I don't have to go into detail. It's an amigurumi. It's a stuffy or whatever, and that and the boobs. Yeah, I would never do those. Probably because I'm still more of a. I remember my religious days. Whatever's in the bedroom stays in the bedroom. Now, number 6. Where do you get your inspiration? Where do you get your inspiration? I get my inspiration from a lot of places. A lot of places. One of my biggest inspirers, and yes, people are going to probably comment on this, but Crystal from Bago de Crochet is one of my biggest inspirations. I love the fact that when she does her videos, she makes you feel so comfortable when you're doing her tutorial. And she will tell you that, you can do this. You can do this. I have faith in you. You have the ability to do this. If you know how to crochet, or single crochet, slip stitch, double crochet, half double crochet, you can do this. Treble crochet, you can do this. She always encourages you. That is why, one of the biggest reasons why I got into designing hats, because I see what she does with making hats, and she actually got me to thinking outside the box. So there's a basic beanie. Yep. There's the single crochet beanie, the half double crochet beanie, the double crochet beanie, the treble crochet beanie. There's beanies like this. There's beanies like my cobblestone pattern. The reversible mushroom beanie. There's so many things that she's inspired me to do. So yeah, that's where my biggest inspiration comes from. My other inspiration is my husband. My husband encourages me to do more patterns. He encourages me to write out patterns and to get a foothold in what I'm doing. And he always encourages me that, if you can't figure it out, if it doesn't work, rip it out, rip it out, rip it out. He says, you do that quite often. You get to a point and you're like, okay, I don't like the way this is looking. Rip it, rip it, rip it, or frog it, frog it, frog it. And I'm amazed at how far you've come in crochet since 2018. He says, you do awesome work. Your patterns are beautiful. And he says, now you just need to write them out and put them on PDF so people can get your patterns. So I'm in the process of doing that. I'm in the process of writing my patterns out and putting them on PDF. I do have a couple that are written out, like my cobblestone blanket or baby blanket. If you want a cobblestone big blanket, then you just keep counting or calculating your stitches, counting your stitches until you have a certain amount, and then you add 5 or whatever. But I do have the pattern for that. Will I have a pattern for this hat? Yes. It's my basic cobblestone hat, and I take the hair, the strands of yarn, I double up the strands of yarn, make it really long, and then I slip it through and tie it. And then I split the ends to make the hair. So, yeah, that's what I do. So, that's number 6. Where do I get the inspiration from? And I also watch other YouTubers too, where I get flamboyant or fantastic ideas of, oh, well, maybe I can do it this way. Maybe I can do it this way. Okay, number 7. Favorite thing you've crocheted this year? What is my favorite thing I crocheted this year? I have to say, my favorite thing that I crocheted this year is my Field of Dreams shawl. That is the one thing that my favorite thing that I've crocheted. I am making some stuff for Bella for her outfits. I am in the process of designing another skirt. I do have to do tutorials on these for Bella. And the thing I like is when you make items for stuffed animals, I use specific hair ties. I don't use the hair ties that have the metal in the center because those can snap. I don't use the hair ties that have the thing glued in the center. Those can snap. I use the hair ties that actually have a little bit of stretch to it, and it's like a sleeve material, okay, or t-shirt material. That's the hair ties I use. And I will do a video on the skirts that I make. So, so that's my favorite thing that I've crocheted this year. I've done several patterns for the Field of Dreams shawl. I have done the Field of Dreams in a disconnected granny square. I have done Fields of Dreams in a granny square, a connected granny square. Now, inspiration again from Crystal. I see her doing back post, front post, this post, that post, up post, down post, and I get so inspired by her tutorials and stuff. So that's the thing I've crocheted, favorite thing I've crocheted this year. Crochet plans you're excited about for the future. Well, the crochet plans that I am excited about for the future is I'm going to be doing more tutorials. I'm going to try and do a tutorial on my weekends, 1 or 2 tutorials on my weekends, and just uploading them and then getting them prepared for release. A lot of the tutorials that I will be doing, I do not have patterns written up for them, but I will be able to do the write-up of the pattern once the tutorial's done. So, that's what I'm excited about this year. I'm looking forward to it. Okay. What's the worst thing that I've crocheted? The worst thing that I've crocheted, I don't really have a worst thing that I have crocheted. I can't think of one right off the bat. I pretty much like everything that I crochet. Some a lot more than others, and some patterns I just keep doing over and over and over again and figuring out other ways that I can do this pattern in other stitches. but I can't really think of a worse thing that I have crocheted. Because I don't do socks. I have started a baby dress, but I never really got that done. So, and like I said, when I talk to you about hat patterns and stuff, this is just a list of some of the tutorials that I want to do, that I will work on getting done. And I am going to be designing more clothes for Bella. And like I said, you can do Bella's clothes for any size teddy bear. So that's the worst thing that I've crocheted. Now, favorite things about crochet. The favorite things that I have about crochet is that crochet to me, okay, is 98% imagination and 2% application. So you have your half double crochet, treble crochet, single crochet, back post, front post, back loop, front loop, just so many stitches. The imagination, if you can imagine it, you can do it. And I tell everybody that. And I also tell them not to give up and don't quit, because it'll be like a light bulb goes off in your head. Like when something like this works out, this pattern, the cobblestone pattern, when something like this works out, the reversible mushroom beanie pattern, when it works out, you're like, oh my God, that's so beautiful. And I like the versatility of it, because I can take a pattern, for example, the virus shawl, and I can make cowls out of it. And it looks awesome. And I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for a few specific people. Now, a few specific people, I'm talking about all of the wonderful YouTubers that have tutorials. And I'm talking about the people that encourage you to keep going and to keep doing things. Krista from The Secret Yarnery. I watched her, and she's one of the most encouraging people. Crystal from Bago de Crochet. Again, one of the most encouraging people that I have ever watched on YouTube. I don't get a sense of, I can't do it. No, I can't. I get a sense of, I can do anything I set my mind to it. I can do anything I set my mind to. And this is some of the stuff that I do. Now, I started doing this, and I want to do donations. I want to put all the stuff that I do for little kids and whatnot, and I want to put them in a donation bag so that the little kids can have something at Christmas time. One of the biggest things that, I gotta get a drink of water. I'm sorry. I'm talking too much. But one of the biggest things that I want to do, and I want to start implementing, is I want to crochet for a cause. And I would love to have a job where that's all I do is crochet for a cause. Whether it's donations for the food banks, or whether it's donations for Christmas Angel campaign, or donations for people who have cancer, whether they're adults, whether they're children. Like, for example, If I made a bunch of hats like this, just kind of really funky, out of your hair hats, and sent them to the kids with cancer that are going through cancer, or making mermaid tail blankets for kids with cancer, I think that would be awesome. I think that would be awesome. And one of the biggest things that can be done is, if a corporation or a company, okay, has somebody on their staff creating donations, that would be freaking awesome. That would be one of the top jobs that I could ever think of having, because that's the type of job that I can do even when I'm in my 80s, is crochet. So, yeah, I know I ranted on a little bit more than what was necessary for about my favorite thing to crochet. But yeah, that's what I would like to do for the future. So, thank you so much, Lisa, from the Crafty Goddess, for tagging me in this video. It is absolutely, I feel so special, and I feel like I'm included in on the streets of YouTube. So thank you, Lisa. I greatly appreciate it. Now I'm going to list a list of people that I'm going to tag in this video. Now, I don't know if Coco from Cocktails and Crochet with Coco is still on the streets of YouTube. I have no idea. So Coco from Cocktails and Crochet with Coco, I tag you. I'm going to write this down while I say it, because I want to actually list their YouTube channel. So Coco from Cocktails and Crochet with Coco, okay, so that's the first person that I'd like to tag. The second is Lorraine from Shuttle and Makes. Okay, that's the second person I want to tag. The third person that I'd like to tag is Patsy from Patsy's Crochet. Okay, so that's the third person I'd like to tag. And anybody else? Oh, Froggy. Froggy from Froggy Went to Knitting. Now, I would like to tag anybody who wants to do this video as well. I think it's something that you can pop on, jump in, and get involved in. I would have put a lot more people down, but right now my brain is kind of mush. I have to go to work tonight, so I'm still trying to get some sleep. This summer is going to be one heck of a hot summer, and the landlady has taken the air conditioning out of the house, and so we have no air conditioning. So trying to get some sleep when it's extremely hot, 31, 32 degrees. I get maybe 2 hours sleep instead of 4 hours sleep now. So I'm tagging anybody who wants to do this. I will list these people in the description box below. There's a lot of people that I don't know whether they watch me or not. And like I said, I'm also tagging anybody who wants to do this, who wants to jump on the bandwagon and do the video. So now for my little spiel, I am going to say, if you find something on YouTube that you like to do or are interested in doing, don't quit. Keep trying, because eventually it'll be like a light bulb goes off in your head and you'll be like, oh, wow, that's how you do it. And you all have a great day, evening, weekend, wherever you may be. You guessed it. You know it. It's coming. Keep on hooking, everybody. And catch you on the next one. Bye for now.